What's going on, guys? Today is October 21st. New York session is coming over to an end. And let's break down gold and NAS. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Josh Paveo, founder, owner of Day Trading University. I've been trading live with the traders inside Day Trading University for over 5 years with a focus mainly on NAS and gold. I use a lot of fundamental analysis, so I'll be talking about that and how it impacts the markets. And with that being said, let's talk about gold. Let's break down a little bit of the things that happened here. Starting off with what happened yesterday. We had a really aggressive push to the upside with not really any fundamental catalyst here, pushing it 1,200 pips to the upside. Let's see if I'll make this a little bigger for you guys. Right, so we measured this out. We had a 1,200 pip push, right at the market open about 600 pips, and then throughout the Asian session, 1,200. Not only did we recover that move, we recovered like 2.5x that move, right? So really, really aggressive drop to the downside. This is not a normal environment for gold. I've been personally staying away from gold because of the volatility. This started happening rather, ever since the government got shut down. So it's just not something that has been ideal in terms of the price action. But with that being said, there was still an entry, a sell that I'll say it this way. I called the sells, I didn't take the sells. Right here. We ended up getting this massive drop to the downside, and then we got another closure right here, and then we just slowly chunked. Now, the crazy thing is, what gold did here, if you measure this out, this white candle here is at the stock exchange open. This one candle, this would have been the buy that I would have taken, but I was in NAS. 270, almost 300 pips on gold. See if I made that a little bigger for you guys. 300 pips in this one candle, massive push up, and then we immediately recover it and then push to the downside. It's not normal for gold to be doing this. It's not normal for gold, and now hopefully you guys are profiting on this, and if you are, you're killing it because these moves are aggressive and not normal, but not normal doesn't mean you can't trade it. For me, it just means I don't want to trade it. This one candle alone is 100 pips. 100 pips on one candle. You can go back and look at gold before the government shut down like 3 or 4 weeks ago. This wasn't happening. Especially like kind of the crazy thing is we get 1,200 pips to the push up and 2,500 pips to the drop. Nothing changed between yesterday and today. Other than the fact that, yeah, okay, we hit all-time highs. Maybe that's a reason to get like a profit-taking move. But to get a profit-taking move that's this aggressive, I haven't seen that happen before. You can zoom out on gold. You know, I've been trading gold for almost 6 years now. Every time we hit highs, all-time highs on gold, all of these areas here are all-time highs on gold. Nowhere do you see something like this, right? You can see it. The volume and volatility has changed since the beginning of the month, which we're in October right now, and it was about 3.5 weeks ago when the government shut down. So unfortunately, maybe fortunately for some of you guys, you're really profiting off this. Gold has been a little crazy. In terms of entries, though, there was an entry that I called or that I saw on the live call today with Day Trading University, and it was right at the market open when I was talking about it. Where is it? Right here. So I was talking about gold. We got the break of support here. So your first entry right here on this candle. Second one after this one dropped right here. Because the reason I say this second candle was the entry is I want to make sure this drop is not immediately going to get recovered the way that this did, right? Just because you see a random candle push in one direction doesn't mean it's going to continue. I want to wait and make sure it does, which is why for me, the entry was here. Or even, I guess, when you get another closure down here, and we just kept dropping to the downside. But even then, if I were in those sells, this push to the upside, 300 pips, right back up at the stock exchange open, and I'm bullish on gold, meaning like I'd still be looking for buys on gold, I would have lost all my confidence in those sells. Now, granted, it still ended up playing out really nicely. It's just, if you guys are trading gold, hopefully you're using good risk management, which really just means lowering your risk, lowering your lot size, lowering your contract size, whatever it is that you're trading, if it's futures or Forex, because we can't do anything about how big these candles are and how massive these ranges are. Overall, I'm still bullish on gold. I'd still be looking at these pullbacks as opportunities to get back in on buys. Just like I was saying earlier this morning when we were up here, I'd still be looking for pullback buys. That doesn't mean you can't take sells. You know, I trade NASDAQ a lot. I'll sell it all the time, but I'm taking sells as a short-term scalp, looking to take it right back up. And realistically, when you zoom out on gold, this is not the end of gold in terms of being bullish. This is just an aggressive pullback. That's all it is. And I said the exact same thing. I'll break down NAS in a minute too, but a week and a half ago, I said the exact same thing on NAS when Trump made his comment about China, and we had this massive drop on Friday on October 10th. I was like, we're gonna go back to all-time highs. It's gonna flip. I'll see if I can, I mean, I won't go through it right now, but inside Day Trading University, if I can find the time that I said it, I won't find it on here. But I said it in the group. Someone was like, oh my God, NAS is melting so much. And I'm like, it's gonna reverse. It'll go back to the highs. And now we zoom out, we're right there. It took a little while, but realistically, even on NAS, which I'll break down today's trades, which was here, every time we get these pullbacks, these were just opportunities to get back in, to take it right back up. This is why, at least in my opinion, having a fundamental bias is really important, because I'm not gonna get, I don't wanna call it faked out. I'm not gonna switch my bias long-term just because we have an aggressive drop. Personally, I still feel the same way about gold. So we'll see if I'm right. It doesn't mean gold can't drop more. It just means I think long-term, or at least short to medium term, gold is still gonna push back up. So with that being said, we're actually getting a little bit of volume right now. We just got earnings reports just came out with Netflix. So massive drop on NAS. I'll actually show you that. Netflix just came out right now, and we're getting a drop. Tech stocks are dropping too. So wasn't really expecting to talk about that during this little video, but a lot of tech stocks. So anyways, I'll break down some of these trades on NAS. One of the ones that I took 2 losses here, I think, and then I ended up taking a win here. So let's remove these for good, and I'll do it like this. I'll start new. So this was at the stock exchange open. I initially entered sells on NAS. Now I'm not bearish on NAS, so I was already like, man, I don't want to do this. I don't really want to take it, but it looks really good for the moment. We're getting a lot of volume. It tapped this a couple times and then finally started to break, and then I entered when it broke. Now, the mistake that I made was closing in drawdown, because it never would have hit my stop loss, but I ended up closing because I just didn't want to get faked out on a trade, and I'm overall looking for buys on NAS. So I ended up taking the trade here. It was somewhere around here, and then when it came back up on this candle, I closed it. And I was like, ah, shit, no, I don't want to do this. And then I just left it alone. I was like, I don't want to be messing with this anymore. I'm going to wait, and we'll play this out a little more. I ended up leaving it alone, letting it drop. Actually, I lied. I took buys here too. I entered right here on buys. I took it all the way up, and I have the recording, but we're not going to put the recording on here because I'll trade this live with everyone at Day Trading University. So I took this trade live. We got the closure here. It closed above support. So I was like, great, closure above support. I'm bullish on NAS. Let's see if this holds. That closure, I entered on this candle here when it started to push up. I think I had like $700-800 in profit here. I was break even at this point. Whole trade, break even. I should have taken partials following my own rules. Normally I would have taken partials here, but I had just taken a loss here, and I wanted to make up that loss and then some. Not necessarily the best strategy. If anything, I tell a lot of traders, don't do that. You shouldn't have today's trade be managed by your last trade, right? So I should have recognized the fact that we weren't breaking this. It's just we only came up to it once and then stayed down here, and I wanted to see if it would come back again before taking partials. So that was actually a trade I forgot to mention, but that was just one candle, and I ended up getting break even on it. So we'll scroll through this a little more. Price action ended up getting a little choppy. Actually, I'll play this out because there was my entry. After we got this massive push to the downside, this was a new 30-minute candle, that closure, and then I entered on this one. Once we dropped, got the flip, once again, because I'm bullish on NAS, I'm looking for buys. That's what I want to do and what I want to take. I'm more confident in that. So I ended up taking my entry here. After we got this flip, I think I entered on the open candle, and I actually probably have a screenshot of it somewhere here so you guys can match it. I don't have screenshots of all my trades. Like, I trade live, so it's hard to actually screenshot this stuff, but hopefully these trade breakdowns are helpful. So the entry was here. You can see it was actually like right above that candle here. That was $3,500 in profit there, and then I think I have another one, almost $6,000 in profit as it was pushing up. So the entry was a little more here, and we'll play this out. It ended up playing out a lot more had I held, but price action was still choppy. We were staying in this range. That little wick just got me. But we did end up breaking out and pushing to the upside, and nice little push on NAS, and then we had this drop right here. So that was the trade. A quick breakdown on that one. We had the sells here. I took another trade here. This is really hard to see in real time. I mean, in TradingView, like replay. One of the reasons I'm not the biggest fan of doing replay stuff like this is, for one, like I hope this is helpful, but for two, it's really hard to do this. You're not seeing the volume happening right now. So like when we had this massive drop and this candle drop, and then this one push up within seconds, $800 in profit in seconds, having to take partials, and then break even, and then still waiting an hour after this massive drop, and then still taking buys where it looks like it's gonna sell, it's not easy. So hopefully, if you guys are doing this, like recognize the fact that volume, especially at NAS and gold, which are two of my favorites, I just like the volatility, I like the volume, it pays really well. NAS holds market structure really well, which is why it's one of my favorites. Just keep in mind, like all this stuff in real time, it's easy to see like, oh, you should have held this for hours, but it's like, this volume was quick, and it was $6,000 in profit in like 15 minutes. So I ended up closing it. Then this trade here, I actually didn't take this trade, but I will break this down real quick, give you guys a little bit of a bonus. This is why headlines are so important. This little drop, I was on a coaching call with one of my students talking about helping him pass a funded challenge actually. This drop right here, if you look at the time, you see 12:50 at the bottom. I'll open up the Discord. This is Day Trading University. So if you guys ever see me bring this Discord up, this is my private group where I'm trading live every day. If you want to join, the link is somewhere in the description. But this is why I keep bringing this up, because this is where I keep everybody updated for my trades if I'm not live with them anymore. So the headline from Trump was right here. I'll see if I zoom in on this a little bit. 12:53, you can see the time there. All right, here, 12:52, Trump. Maybe Z meeting won't happen. For those of you guys who don't know who Z is, China. That's the president of China. 12:53, Trump came out and said, we're probably not going to meet. I'm not too sure yet. What he's talking about is related to the trade war and tariffs. Anything that shows the tiniest bit of negativity regarding China and the US will do something like this. So you can go back test this if you want in your own charts, the exact same time it happened. Now, I don't believe it held. Let me play this out a little bit. It's just, it was a random ass post, but the thing is, you gotta be careful for stuff like this because that's all it takes. You know, if I was still in these buys here on NAS and Trump said that, I just lost the entire trade. And had I held that trade, that would have been $15,000, $20,000 in profit, gone. All because Trump said, I don't think I'm gonna meet with the president of China. It's really annoying. So it's been, unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess however you wanna look at it, a scalper's market. Even though there are some really good swing trades coming, I mean, yesterday, the buys on NAS, beautiful, you could still be holding this, but all it takes is one comment, one post, one headline. Trump is extremely active. So we have to be careful for that. And I mean, if you guys are trading funded challenges, which I feel like the majority of people are, it's not that big of a deal because you can't hold trades long-term anyways, unless if like maybe FTMO or something where you're trying to swing trade. But you can, I mean, this one drop right here, once again, earnings reports just came out. We just recovered this entire move. In the matter of me doing this one video, breaking this down, we've recovered this in an entire day's worth of price action on NAS. Crazy. So I hope these videos are helpful for you guys. I promise I'll get better at it. I'll get more organized with it. I just want to do them off the cuff. I don't have time to do some crazy edits and all the fancy stuff all your favorite YouTube influencers do because I just finished trading. Like I'm actually trading all day, every day, and I'm in it. I'm in it with you guys all the time. So hopefully these market updates are helpful, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Take care.